Martin Luke and the John them there. Good afternoon, welcome. The program is the Mailbox. This happens every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. unless it's a public holiday. Today is the 8th of May and it is the second Wednesday of the month. We want to tell you it is a grand time. We're talking about Men's Fellowship Tour. And the purpose of men's ministry in a church is to prepare Christian men to assume the roles God created them to fulfill. The aim is to equip men to be spiritual leaders in their homes, the church, and throughout their communities. The ultimate objective is to present every man perfect in Christ, Colossians 1:28. To promote biblical manhood by exhorting one another to godly living as we
Courtney,
grow together in
Courtney,
awareness.
I'm wondering if it's the other script, the
Oh,
one on.
I'm reading the wrong one. Kev, well, go and
Yeah,
find that right one for me. I have the wrong one. Oh my
yes,
goodness. That's
yes,
usually the last. That's
yeah,
so true.
right.
My
This one
goodness.
is men in teaching, and
Yes, it should be with Jermaine, right?
that's
Go
right.
ahead.
And this
Kev, go
is
ahead and read it for me
teaching.
until I find it. You go ahead.
Sure, sure. So certainly the underrepresentation of men in the teaching profession is a topic that has garnered attention over the years. Here are some reasons that may be behind this phenomenon. One, stereotypes and perceptions. Teaching has historically been seen as women's work, perpetuating the stereotype that is more suitable for women. Then there is the pay disparities. Male teachers are often drawn to high school teaching positions because they tend to offer better pay compared to elementary school teaching. Elementary school teachers typically earn less than their high school counterparts, which can deter men from entering the field. And so, teaching jobs don't attract the kind of salary that can be used to care for the family. We'll have that conversation. There's also fear of misconduct allegations. Some men may hesitate to become teachers due to concerns about false accusations of sexual abuse of children. The fear of legal repercussions can discourage potential male educators. And what about recruitment efforts? To address the shortage of male teachers, recruitment efforts are crucial. And the global trends, well, the shortage of male teachers is not unique to Jamaica, but is evident in all parts of the world. Efforts to attract more men to the teaching profession should focus on addressing these challenges by promoting diversity and encouraging men to pursue teaching careers. We can create a more balanced and effective educational environment. So, this is the program designed for men with guest star men, hosted by men, and it's aired every Wednesday. As Courtney said, 5:30 p.m. right here on Love 101, the family station. I'm Kevin Bailey and my co-host Courtney Morrison right
Who is
here.
doing men's fellowship tour? Today is teaching, and today is about Teachers' Day. Happy Teachers' Day to every teacher. Uh, give a little more greetings after this. But to all our listeners, thanks for making it Love 101, making it your choice, your station of choice. We're talking about men in teaching, educating the next generation of youth, especially males. And this will help to fight back against ignorance. However, there are fewer males than females teaching in our educational institutions that could serve as role models for our young men. What are the factors contributing to the low number of men in the classroom? We will explore the possible reasons for some men seemingly not signing up for a career in teacher. Our guest this evening is Mr. Jermaine Williams, JTA President elect candidate for 2024 to 2025. Let's tell you a bit about who he is. Welcome to the program, Mr. Williams. How are you today?
Thank you, man. Greetings, Courtney and Kevin. I'm doing good,
Good,
Greetings.
thank
thank
you.
you.
Yeah, great to have you.
My
Great.
pleasure, my pleasure.
Let's tell you a bit about who he is. Mr. Williams is a teacher at the Mannings School in Westmoreland, the Mannings School in Westmoreland. He is a candidate in the upcoming elections for the JTA President-elect 2024 to 2025. He champions the motto, leading with passion, guiding by experience. Mr. Williams is a master teacher with over 20 years of experience in the classroom and believes that the government should be persuaded to write off student loans for teachers who remain in the education system 10 years after obtaining qualifications. Yes, I'm sure we're going to be hearing more about who he is. But happy Teachers Day to you, Sir Williams. Happy Teachers Day to every teacher out there.
Thank you.
I want to
Appreciate
big
it.
up Mrs. Millicent Building. She was my grade 6 teacher. She's still alive at Independence City All Age. I had a presentation this morning done at the Ascot Primary School, and I'll be beaten up by Mrs. Stoney if I don't call her name. But the most dapper award, Principal Dapper Award, should go to Mr. Jackson, Principal of the Ascot Primary School. To you all, Lady Edwards, and every teacher at Ascot. Happy Teachers Day.
What an awesome day. Want to say Happy Teachers Day as well for all the teachers from Morin Point to Nick Grill, doing a tremendous job. Have to big up, of course, those at Cedar Valley, All Age School, and Morant Bay High School, Excelsior Community College, and University of the West Indies Caribbean Graduate School of Theology. So many institutions, starting from Aunt Mrs. Basic School. And I am able to read this because of a teacher. So appreciate you. Courtney, I have to give a shout out to the Jamaica Civil Service Association Men's Coalition. They put on a seminar today, Stop the Fighting, Conflict Resolution and Anger Management seminar that they had. It was an amazing time. Met some great gentlemen, and I'm sure we may have to have them talking about Royden Hall, Restorative Justice Officer, Center Manager, and Robin Rock, Restorative Justice Field Officer. Big up to Livingston, Burnett, and Jerry Neal Richards, and so many wonderful persons. Also, the ladies were there, General Secretary, that's Sister Tiffany Powell Williams, and President of the JCSA, Sister, I think it's what, Teacher Clark Griffiths. Yeah. But just big up to these wonderful persons. And I just want to say the man them, remember, we have Mr. Jermaine Williams with us. It's a privilege, our honor to have him, and it's going to be beneficial. So please invite the boys to men to come and listen up to this conversation as well.
Excellent. So let me include those great teachers from Kingston College, Mr. Douglas Forrest. Oh God. If I start naming, I'm going to be in problems. So to Mr. Mary, who is the principal there, excellent work you're doing, sir. To all, please, we can't call all names, but indeed, fantastic job that you are doing. And as Kevin said, if it were not for a teacher, we probably wouldn't even be on this program reading scripts. So thanks to you all. You're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah. So, man and man, remember, we want to hear from you. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. Remember, you can leave your comments via our WhatsApp line, 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. Also, we're on TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica. So you have many alternatives to reach us. Please do so.
Ladies, we love you, especially the female teachers. Mrs. Helen Douglas, or Miss Helen Douglas, Vice Principal for Kingston College for so many years and French teacher. How could I have left her out? We're asking the question, though, what are some methods that the Ministry of Education, the government, can utilize to attract and retain more males in the classroom? You can participate in the program by leaving us a message via WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube. Females, remember though, no calls or voice notes are allowed. Those are reserved for the men. You may text. We want to give a shout out to all the men at this time. Kevin, lead us in that shout out now, please.
Yes, so, Sir Jermaine, we have this ritual. So after 3, we're simply gonna say Monday up. And I know you're sophisticated in your speaking, I know we have to take you off for that. And for you to talk patois. But we're gonna ask you to join us, right? After 3, we're gonna say man there. 1, 2, 3.
Man there.
Yes. You're doing great. You're doing great. So of course we are very present. Before we head into the main discussion, it's now time for us to get into the segment that we dub draft, where we preliminarily open the way to our main segment. we want to ask Mr. Jermaine Williams, is teaching a viable career for men, or is it just for women? What are your thoughts, Sir Jermaine?
All right. First of all, I believe teaching is a special calling. Teaching is not for everybody. Yesterday I was having a conversation with somebody and he said, they would have thought about giving it some thought, but teaching is not for the faint-hearted. Definitely not for the faint-hearted. So I believe that teaching is a special calling and it is for everyone because the male students that we have in our classrooms, in our society, they need good role models. And I do believe it's a viable career. First of all, yes, we can agree that we may not be compensated as we fully deserve, but we need male educators, and I believe it is a viable career.
Excellent. We often note that we see rarely men. I am still having such fond memories of an experience at Tarrant High School when Mr. Kosher was there. And I remember going to a PTA meeting and there were at least a dozen male teachers. I mean, the thing just took me by surprise and it felt so awesome, We're going to get deeper into it, but we just want to remind our listeners that we're live on Facebook and YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. You can leave your comments via our WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125. The number again, 876-997-3125. Also, we are on TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica.
Well, just before our first break, we want to kind of getting to know you, Sir Jermaine. Can you share a little bit about your growing up, early childhood years? Did you born with gold spoon in your mouth? What was it like for you? Share with us a little bit.
Ooh, my journey. All right, so first of all, I am from the wonderful community of Darliston in the parish of Westmoreland. That's where I grew up, a small district called Grotto, which is closer to the Caledonia side. All right. For me personally, I actually started school late.
Wow.
I'm not sure if I should blame it on poverty, but I started school at age 6.
Wow.
I was placed, yes. I did not have the luxury of attending an early childhood institution. And then you can understand as well, that it's, in recent years that more attention is being given to early childhood education. Of course, we know Miss Matty have a little class go on our veranda. We have 1 and 2 infant schools, but you can understand that it was more centered in some communities and it wasn't widespread in all communities. So I missed the early childhood aspect of my life. But I was placed in grade 1 and I spent 2 weeks in grade 1, 2 weeks, and I was promoted to grade 2. So thank God for my family and certain things that I would have learned at home. So I started school at grade 2. I know in these times that would be crazy, So I started at the Caledonia All-Age School and, would have moved up the ranks. It was a struggle. Thank God for the nutrition program they have, NutriBond as they call it, because that would have helped a lot, And being one of the class leaders at school, many times I was the one selling the buns. So that you can't get left.
Yes.
So that would have helped a lot. It was kind of an extended family. So I didn't live with my mom, but she would have lived probably about a mile away because she would have had, other children with another, partner and not my father. As a matter of fact, I didn't know my father. I met him since being an adult. So it was, with my grandfather, my aunts, uncle, cousins, etc., in an extended family. And that's how I grew up, You turn your hand, make fashion, that kind of thing. And I would have remembered when I reached grade 6, remember now, back then it was common entrance. I could do my work. As a matter of fact, back then we call it bright group and dunce group. It's nothing about slow learners.
Jermaine, sorry to ask you to pause, but we're going to take our first break. And when we come back, we're going to rejoin you as you go telling us your stories. This is the Mailbox. Kevin and Courtney with you. Very special guest, Jermaine Williams. We'll be right back after this.
For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, what we say? Grace Mackerel are the winner. For the richest sauce, always the bossy. Grace Mackerel are the winner. And if you talk about taste, don't know say we win the race. From the cooking stuff, them a kind of food we love. And what we say? Grace Mackerel are the winner. Real value for sure. The one and only Grace Mackerel. Always give me more. Good taste and food. Grace bringing the food you love.
Ready for your City and Guilds exams? Email us at jamaica@cityandguilds.com or call 876-924-7804 for free practice materials. Math exam Monday, June 3. English on Thursday, June 6. And customer service Friday, June 7. All at 1 p.m. City and Guilds, your passport to the world.
Truth is, HIV affects everyone. Truth is, avoiding care leads to a weaker immune system. That means you could get really sick. The truth is, the hardest pill to swallow isn't the medication. It's the problems that follow when you don't take them. Let's get through this together. Remain in care. You can live life to the fullest with HIV. And that's the truth. A message from the Ministry of Health and Welfare.
You are a dedicated small business owner dreaming big of growing your business and reaching new heights. With Access Financial Services, you can grow from where you are to where you want to be. Grow from a corner shop to your very own store, from truck driver to trucking fleet, from hairdresser to your own salon. Secure your small business loan of up to $20 million and watch as your business grows from plan to possibilities. Grow your business today with Access Financial Services. Conditions apply.
Boss, we're gonna need some solid PVC pipes and conduits.
Then all PVC pipe no solid.
No man, solid brand. They make it right here in Jamaica. Them cheaper and it's good quality pipes.
Well, that is some solid advice. All right, how much we need?
Solid PVC pipes and conduits manufactured in Jamaica and available at all hardware stores across the island. Buy Jamaican, employ Jamaicans, and build Jamaica. Ask for solid PVC pipes and conduits and save. Call 876-937-5099 to place your orders today. Manufactured by Fosrich.
I am a man.
Welcome back. You're listening to the program The Mailbox. I'm Courtney Morrison along with Kevin Bailey as your co-host. We have with us today Mr. Jermaine Williams. He is a member of the Justice of Peace and he's also the JTA candidate-elect for 2024 to 2025. We're asking him about growing up, and he was telling us a bit before we went for the break. Sir Williams, may you please continue your story? Thanks.
All right, where did I stop? I think I was talking about grade 6. So, you know, when you reach grade 6, you're required to do common entrance. I did not have the privilege to do common entrance in grade 6. And I remember in grade 6, I was placed 4th in my class. I couldn't manage my work. And I was one of those persons who were always helping students in the slower group. All right. I would have moved on. So I was at the all-age school. It's Caledonia all-age school. I moved to grade 7. So I was in grade 7. I did grade 7 at all-age school. And I also did grade 8 at all-age school.
So tell us, how come you never get to do common entrance?
I don't know. I probably blame it on poverty, you know. But I can tell you what happened though, what kind of turned the tables. You know, one weekend I was visiting my mom. I met in an accident. So a bike accident, a bike hit me down while walking on the road. Wow. I was hospitalized and I was unconscious for 3 days. Wow. And I had a broken leg. So when I was home, when I returned home recovering, the police officer came to my house to take the statement. And while, you know, conducting the interview, he asked me which school I attended, and I told him, and he was shocked. He said, "No, I need to speak with your mother," you know, and that's where the tables turn, you know. So he'd have had conversation with her, and I don't know, because remember back then when you're doing lessons, you have to have money because you had to do lessons. Mark you, at that point, I'd passed the age to do common entrance. So I said to my mom, I said, am I going to be stuck at an all-age school? What's going to happen to me? Because all my friends, all the students who I would have assisted in school would have moved on to high school and I was there stuck. you know, and so I got an opportunity to do what you call the technical entrance examination and also the grade 9 achievements. I did 2 exams in the same year.
Wow.
And guess what? I passed both exams for the same school. And I can tell you, as much as I'm a teacher at Mannings School, if Mannings was on the list, I would have been placed there. But Mannings was not one of the schools that I could have attended based on the type of exam, because the technical entrance was specific for a technical high school. And some schools did not accept students who would have sat the grade 9 achievement. And so that's where it all started. So I was placed at the Frome Technical High School. And what they say, the rest is history, because that's where my journey, my high school journey began. Mark you, the technical entrance came out first. I was placed in grade 8, not grade 7, because technical placed in grade 8. And the grade 9 achievement came out after, and they asked me if I wanted to be in grade 9. I said, no, I don't want to be in grade 9. I can't start high school at grade 9. So I remained in grade 8. And I would have spent 4 years at high school. You know, at the ending of high school, I wanted to go sixth form. I had interest in journalism, international journalism. It was nothing about radio, nothing about television. I just knew I wanted a career that would have allowed me to travel the world, experience different cultures, right? Again, my sister was in high school, and then my brother passed the same year that I should have moved on to sixth form. And so unfortunately, my mom, who was alone, could not afford it. So I was forced to work.
Wow.
Yes. So the Heart NSTA, you know, they had this program similar to National Youth Service, where they call it SL Top, some school leavers program that you're placed in an institution close to where you live. I didn't get a salary. It was a stipend. I remember specifically, it was $6,400. And when the tax was deducted, $5,864.
That's for the year.
A monthly basis. So I had to eat school canteen lunch because the money was, it could hardly cover my taxi fare to go to work. I was placed at the Maud McLeod High School, which that school was in Darliston, where I was from. But I never wanted to attend Maud McLeod. I wanted to travel out of my community because that school is in Darliston. I wanted to travel out. And so I chose Frome Technical. But then the school I did not want to go is where my journey really began, because I spent 2 years there. I spent a year as on the Heart program. And then I remember a teacher went on maternity leave. I would have worked for those 2 months and get a pre-trained teacher salary, taught math, taught IT, taught social studies. And then the next year, I became an administrative assistant. So there was not a teacher librarian, so I was responsible for the library. And when teachers were not there, I would have fill in for them. But I taught library skills as well, you know. And I decided that, you know what happened? This is not enough for me. I think there's more to me. And the teachers there would have also encouraged me to say, why not go get trained? Because I thoroughly enjoyed the 2 years that I spent at Maud McLeod High School. And so that's where it all started. Should I talk about the college part or not yet?
Well, it's up to you, Sir Williams. But indeed, I was just about to ask what influenced you to become a teacher, but you just told us, you know, you're such a good guest for us. You're just speaking what is there without us asking you the questions. So tell us a bit about college. What happened there? Were there any challenges that you faced? Anything there that made you want to change your mind about embarking on such a career?
So while at Maud McLeod, as I said, they would have encouraged me. And I remember after the first year, I applied to Church Teachers College. I didn't get through, but got through with student loan. Apparently, I was not supposed to attend Church Teachers College. You know, the following year, I would have applied to the MICO, and I got through. There was a special program for males as well. I remember, I think over 2,000 students had to sit an entrance examination. It was difficult to get into the MICO, but I believe that my experience at Maud McLeod, and I believe it's destiny. I was destined to be here. So as much as I never said to myself, I wanted to be a teacher, when I look back on my life, I was always that person who's always helping. And then that experience at Maud McLeod. So I got through at the MICO University College. I was able to save. So I was able to pay for my first year without taking a student loan. And I was very happy. I remember when I said to my grandfather, Markio, first in my immediate family to go to college. And I said, Papa, I'm going to college. He said, go college? What do you mean go college? How you go afford? You can't go to college? He just never understood. And I remember, many times we'd have parents charter a vehicle and carry you up, and hello, I had to pay for an extra seat in a public passenger bus. There was a bus that was from my community that would have traveled to Kingston, and I paid for an extra seat for my luggage, me alone and Jesus gone to college. No, I was not accompanied by any adult. I was on my own. But I knew the moment I stepped on that campus, I knew that my life will never be the same again. Spent 3 years at the Michael. As I said, I paid for first year. It was a struggle because I wasn't getting like a monthly allowance, that kind of thing. I remember at one point I used to work like on the weekends in the library, that kind of thing. And so I would get a little pocket money to help out a little situation. The summer I stayed on campus, worked with CXC, did a little stint at Scotiabank, little summer employment here and there that would have assisted me. The second year, I had to take student loan for part of it and whatever family assistance I would have gotten. And of course, the end in a second year, work and travel program, borrowed money, went on the work and travel program, and I was able to pay my fees for that particular year, and the following year I would have returned. So I spent 3 years, graduated with a teacher's diploma. It wasn't easy, but it was 3 of the most fantastic years of my life. I never suffered. I had a good relationship with all, not just my batchmates, everybody on the halls of residence. As a first year man, you're always a help out. So people look out for me. So I could survive and always very helpful. There was this lady that would have sold like little snacks, especially on weekend. If a weekend she can't make it, I was the one. She asked me and I was able to do it. That kind of thing. On teaching practice, like we'd get our breakfast material. I was the one who did the distribution. If I have my brothers who are out, like their place at a school outside of Kingston at a shift school, I was always that leader, always that helpful person that everybody respected, and so that has been my journey. So I believe that I'm in the right place.
Certainly in the right place. Just hearing your journey and the adversities, and yet you persisted, you persevered, and very resourceful. Oh my gosh, so many of us learning, and we're really privileged to have you. Good evening. This is Sean Blair, a teacher at the early childhood level for over 13 years. I recently served in the capacity of acting principal for 8 months. I do believe that males in teaching is most important at all levels. I endorse what Mr. Williams said. It's really a calling and a noble profession. However, having more males in the classroom as role models will ultimately aid with the holistic development of our boys. I think we're just about up on our second break, Courtney. Just want to say thank you, sir. We're speaking with Jermaine Williams. If you have just joined us, man a man, I encourage you to call another man and the boys them to listen up, because he has a story and he really has some profound words that can encourage you. This is the program, The Mailbox, where we challenge, encourage, and empower our men to become all they were created to become. We're going to take our second break, go to studio. Kevin and Courtney with you with a very special guest, Jermaine Williams. We'll be right back in a moment.
Sometimes all we need is a listening ear. The listening ear, the counseling, the logical reasoning, and spiritual guidance are what appeal to us. That's why I'm here. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, the counselor, your counselor on Love 101 FM, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. You know you can call on me. I will listen and more. So let's talk about what's bothering you. Anything. Tune in, listen, call in, text or voice message. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, counseling psychologist, ready with a listening ear. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. Right here on the family station, Love 101 FM.
Mindset Conference 2024, the Gospel Edition, Monday to Wednesday, May 20 to 22, at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel with Pastor John Gray, Pastor Travis Green, Dr. Jackie Green, Todd Gammer, Phil Thomas, Minister Marion Hall, Kevin Downswell, Sharon Gardner, Rhoda Isabella, Pastor Junior Tucker, Bishop Everton Thomas, and many more. Join us for dinner, workshop, panel discussion, praise and worship, undiluted word, and concert every night. Mindset Conference. For more info, mindsetconference.org. Get your tickets now.
Welcome back to the program, The Mailbox. I'm Courtney Morrison, along with Kevin Bailey, our special guest, Jermaine Williams. Mr. Jermaine Williams, he is a teacher at the Manning School, and he's here sharing with us. We're talking about men in teaching. We got a full episode on at least where we got to Michael and all that has been happening. But Sir Williams, want to ask you the question, what do you think is causing the deficiency or the lack or the numbers being so low of men in our schools, and how can we improve it if it needs improving?
All right. Whew. I would say when I started out at my school, we had about 30 male teachers of a population of 90-something teachers. So it has always been in terms of majority, and I'm at the high school level, and over the years, I'd have seen where there would have been a decrease in the number of male teachers on staff. I can't say if it's perception, but the work that is involved in teaching, the average male is not willing to take on that task because you're more than just a teacher. You're a manager, your parent, mother and father, you're the counselor, you are, can't say financial because when you know lunch money is you again, so you are, and I don't think many males are willing to take that on. One of the thing about teaching is that teaching does not end at 3 or 5. You take it home with you. You even take it in your sleep. Because you may have this struggling student that you're wondering, how can I reach this student? You take it on weekends. So it's every day, 7 days a week. It's for the entire month. It's 12 months a year, because even when you're on holiday, you're making plans for the next term or the next school year. And there are some persons, if you think about the bank, when you leave bank at 5 or 6, that's it. You go home and it's family time now. And not many persons are willing to take that on. And I also believe over time the salary has not been as attractive for males to want to remain in the system, because it really does not matter how hard you work, it's the same salary. The only time you get that you see a difference, and that's back then, because the whole salary structure right now is not cut it neither, really. But at least you know that if you get qualifications, then there goes an extra money for you. Or if within the school, either a teacher retire, leaves, dies, or something, that's the only time that there's any prospect of a promotion, or if you should leave and take up a position at another institution. So unlike the police force, you can be there and you're promoted to senior soup, and that does not happen in education. And we have this master teacher program, and kind of need some vitamin too, some more teachers, because we have experts in the field, and more teachers, I believe, can benefit from such a system, who probably don't necessarily see themselves as an administrator, but as a prefer to interact with the students on a daily basis as a classroom teacher, but at the same time can be compensated. So those are some of the challenges that we're faced with. And I would have seen where some of the tertiary institutions would have made teachers' colleges, would have created programs to try to attract more males into the system. And so it has been a challenge, and it will continue to be a challenge. It will continue to be a challenge. I do believe teaching is a special calling.
Wow. It seems complex, really complicated. Yeah. And no simple solution. And yet we're suffering, I believe, as a result of the lack of male teachers in the classroom. After all, when the family is not functioning, the next unit of socialization is the school. And the expectations are great, all of these children coming in and they're looking to teacher. They, to do all of these things, to do the parenting, the guidance, plus the technical know-how. And I'm just wondering, would it help if there was the political will or governmental intervention to increase salaries? Because we've often wondered, is society fair? Why is it that someone as important and significant as a teacher, where all the other professions benefit, whether you're a doctor, lawyer, entrepreneur, engineer, accountant, etc., how is it that we come to a place where we are not focusing on paying teacher and providing the resources? I just wonder about that as well, and if that could make things shift. But probably I'd ask you, this emphasis now on early childhood education, which seems to it wasn't present in your time, because you had to do some gymnastics in order to reach where you are. But is this the right move? And are we going to see the positive impact of this down the line? What are your thoughts on that?
All right. So yes, early childhood, and if check the stats, you probably can count on one hand how many male teachers, because the early childhood level, you are everything, the roles that you're expected to play. So big up to Sean, big up to Sean, but the early childhood level is the foundation. All right. If a child gets a solid foundation, then the problems after will be much less, because you have a solid foundation to build on. Because it's difficult to understand a student leaving high school and cannot read. That's crazy. And we know that we have students who are in need of special help and they're in the regular system. And the teachers in the regular classroom, as much as we get little training here and there, we are not fully trained to treat with some of those challenges that those students are faced with. And mark you, I'm not expecting heaven in Jamaica, because guess what? We're a developing country. We're not a first world country, but I do believe, and big up to the Ministry of Education and the efforts over the years. But of course, more can be done. So the early childhood is very important, is the foundation. So when the child reaches primary school, the foundation was already set that you can actually build on, even though personally, I believe the curriculum is too much. I feel like the kids are pressured too much, and sometimes even in the PEP, and by the time they reach high school, they're burnt out in first form. They're burnt out. So I believe that some revision of the curriculum, both at the early childhood and even at the primary school level too.
Mr. Williams, I'm happy to hear a teacher expressing such, because it has been my position for some time that we have some of the most brilliant students, but we get them disinterested in education by pressuring and seemingly setting exams and tests to have our students fail. In the developed country, they make the test so easy that they become so interested in learning, but by the time they get to college, they are alive and effervescent. This is what we want to do. Here, by the time they get to high school and pass through high school, most persons say, I don't want any more of this.
I want to tell you, that there are good things that are happening in Jamaica, as regards education, because our children, when they go elsewhere, they are grounded, the foundation. So we are doing good things too, but as we go along, we have to be willing to make adjustments, that kind of thing. That is important, because education cannot be static. It is dynamic, and so we have to move with the times and make changes as time goes along.
Agreed. So my question to you is this, sir. How can we help? We've also seen the violence in our primary level education and in high schools becoming far more frequent in high schools. Would the presence of male teachers help with that in any way? Would they create a more significant balance? How do we deal with the violent situations in schools at present?
All right, so when we think about it, the family that has a male, the male presence, it does make a difference. Check it. The mother is the one who's always cooking. When dad cooks on a weekend, everybody looks forward to dinner. And it's not because mom cannot cook, but there's a difference. There's a difference, and you also get more food. Yes. So they look forward to that. So I do believe that the male presence makes a difference because a lot of these young people are searching for a male role model. All right. And then when you think about setting, discipline, setting the standards, we're not having a conversation. This is what is expected of you. Market, there are times you can dialogue, because they also need to understand that the consequences of your action, this is what will happen, The male presence, I don't know. I feel like the students seeing a male, there's a different level of respect, a different level of expectation compared to the female. And we're not saying that females are not disciplinarians, no, we know. But it's a mindset thing. So we need the balance within the school system because everybody has their role to play. And there's some of the programs, like I'm thinking about it. I remember when I just started, at teaching at my school, Males Day was being planned by the guidance counselors, which were 2 females. And I was like, what is going on here? How can we plan in Males Day and there's no male teacher involved? Just notice I went in and I took over as a young teacher, fresh with ideas and wanting to make that change. And they were there as resource person. We tell them which speaker we need and they get it. But we run the program. And I can tell you, I remember the feedback from the female teachers, and I don't know if the males were not stepping forward or they were not giving an opportunity to the male teachers at the time, but the females expected that it would have failed, and they were shocked. The male students were out in their numbers. They were surprised. We got food, we got sponsorship, we got so much done. And if we'd have compared the females day that same year, could not be compared to the males day. And I think that's where the shift started, because we realized that there's more to us than what we were given at the time. Marky, I was new, so I came in fresh and I was ready to work, but the male presence does make a difference. There are particular programs in the school that I believe that a male should be running that particular program, because who understands males more than another male? And the phases and stages and can relate to. So the male presence is important. But big up to the female teachers as well.
Yeah. No, I see you really stress the balancing, which I like. The significance of the male, because males are different from females.
Yes.
What are your thoughts now on how males learn and do well in the educational system?
Interesting. All right. So during my master's program, because I do have my master's degree now, because we not stop at entry level, right up there, making a difference, right?
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. There was a program about brain-based learning and males and how they learn and that kind of thing. So I realized that sometimes the challenge that we have within the classroom, one size cannot fit all. One size cannot fit all, is that we as educators have to ensure that there's variety within the classroom, because sometimes the male is not the one who just sit down and just listen quietly. Sometimes he's so energized, and so you have to give him other tasks to do. Marky, we understand that boys are common assessment, so everybody have to do the same final exam. We understand that, but we have to say, for example, our group activities given, because it's not possible all the time for you to, male versus female kind of thing. But a group activity is given. You can give ideas, or you give them a chance of, their own creativity, and you find that what is it that the males have an interest in, and if they are more hands-on kind of thing, so you have to give them that opportunity, and to express themselves, but they can't be the ones who are just quiet and just sit in a corner. Like some of the females, males do not learn like that, and they may want to, dub and they may knock the drum too and that kind of thing. So sometimes nice have to go on. I wish that I had a classroom where it's soundproof. Because the amount of excitement we're going to a classroom now, but you can't disrupt the other classes next door. And so you're somewhat limited, and then you don't have enough trees outside that you can take your class outside and under a shade. So it becomes challenging, and there's so much, like, especially for me, as I would have, learned, through my first degree, through my master's, that there are things that I would want to do in my classroom, but the facilities are not there for me to do all of those things that I would want to do.
Stick a pin right there. Thank you for sharing that. It's 6:15 right here on Love 101. The program is the Mailbox. We're talking to Mr. Jermaine Williams, JTA candidate-elect for 2024-2025. He's a teacher at the Manning School, Master Teachers Program. And indeed, we will be back after this final break for us here on the Mailbox. Courtney and Kevin here. Soon come back.
Let's go! Bag it and pin it, every rubbish in a pan. No dirty up the place, this up we island. So keep Jamaica. Say make we do it, keep Jamaica clean. Make you listen to me please. No plastic bag, no fear blowing at the breeze. No. Proper garbage, disposal, recycle plastic, now make it full up in the streets. Bag it and pin it, every rubbish in a pan. No dirty up the place, this up we island. So keep Jamaica. Say make we do it. A message from the National Solid Waste Management Authority.
You are a dedicated small business owner dreaming big of growing your business and reaching new heights. With Access Financial Services, you can grow from where you are to where you want to be. Grow from a corner shop to your very own store, from truck driver to trucking fleet, from hairdresser to your own salon. Secure your small business loan of up to $20 million and watch as your business grows from plan to possibilities. Grow your business today with Access Financial Services. Conditions apply.
Every Thursday morning, Love 101 shares with you power-packed messages, words of encouragement, and testimonies of God's miraculous power. You get all of that in the Don't Give Up broadcast, brought to you by Celebration Church at the Portmore Skating Ring in the Portmore Mall with Pastor Prophet Michael Carter. Be sure to stay tuned to Love 101 for the Don't Give Up broadcast. Get the word you need to start your day right. The Don't Give Up broadcast, Thursdays at 5:15 a.m. It's on the family station, Love 101. It's gonna be all right.
Welcome back to the Mailbox. Here every Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. on Love 101 FM, your family station. Kevin Courtney with you, our special guest, Jermaine Williams. And he has been really sharing some nuggets. So, and invite the brethren them to join the conversation. Sir Williams, what would you say about men who are afraid, apprehensive to be teachers because they fear false accusations by students and parents and administrators? So this fear factor, is it real, and how should they, view this?
All right, Sir Kevin. One of the things is that when you enter the education system, you have to set your boundaries. All right, so teaching, males, all the males out there, teaching is attractive, and we need more male teachers in the system. All right, when you enter the system, you set your boundaries. All right, so there are some things that you don't cross. Your students understand what your expectations are. Because if you lay yourself careless and if you encourage certain behavior, then you may find yourself in the wrong. All right. When students understand who you are and what your expectations are, parents also understand that, because that has to be passed on to them. Because as a teacher, it's good when you can build a rapport with your parents. So you're not seeking no buy-in, you're not buy them in. You're there to teach, and that's what you're there to do. And we understand all the other responsibilities that comes along with that. All right. I remember as a form teacher, the young little kids, them first form, second form, that's grade 7, grade 8. I go out on a trip and I remember coming back, first set movies sold out, early movies sold out. You want to see me and them, I'll stop and watch late movie. And I can tell you, not one of my parents complained. When I got back to school, they were all there waiting on their children. As a matter of fact, some parents quarrel with me. So, Mr. Wula, you never come back with nothing yet. You keep class party. You do this, you do that, and you're not. Because like Children's Day, I am the one treating them from my pockets. I don't need anything from any parents. It's my treat to my students because they would have done well. So you set your boundaries and parents understand, the students understand, and you'll be fine because this is not something that happens regularly, and it may happen in some school and hear about it in others. And we're not saying that we don't have 1 and 2 persons who don't fall out of place, but it's not widespread. I don't think it is widespread. I don't think it's widespread. I've never heard my name. I've never heard about, because, and I'm the co-curricular program at my school. So all the young leaders, I work with all of them, and there are 25 clubs in the school. So I work with them. I go on a lot of trips, but the boundaries are set, so nobody can call my name. Because you'd have to go tell me, you'd have to go give me that fact, about what you're sharing, the evidence, because I'm not going to lay myself careless. So it's not going to happen. And the students understand. Mark, remember I'm at the high school level. And we now go say there may not be a one student who like you, the teacher, I know. But because they respect you, they keep it to themselves. I had one experience. One student, when she graduated, at the end of graduation, she could even stand up and finish the sentence. Sir, me like you, and the girl run off. She ran. She just wanted to know that before I leave school, I have to let him know. When I'm on the road, if she see me, she crossed the road and she hide her face. She was afraid, but she just wanted to ensure that this was shared. It was on her mind, but that was it. That's where it ended, because once you're my student, okay, you're adult to be, I still see you as my student.
That's an interesting one indeed. That's such a great story. Your greatest hope for the school, male educators, that you would like to see really be put forward, number one priority, what would that be?
All right, so for me, some families are trying, Mark, some families are trying. Some families, they don't really know and they don't understand. And so I believe where the family would have failed is the school. It is actually the school, all right? And so I want more males to step forward, because the work is what will determine the direction in which society goes. Because these are our young people who are going out into society, and it's the quality of what we'd have done. And Mark, in spite of all the lack of resources and all of that, it's the quality of what would have been done that determines the direction in which society goes. Our young people are in need of mentorship. Our classrooms are in need of more male teachers, good male role models, positive influence. And so if we come together and try to create programs within the school aligned with, with the support of administrators, because sometimes you have some teachers with brilliant ideas, but administration does not support it. And I think too often administrators feel like you can take over their work. No, we are in this thing together. And so if we sometimes we have these young teachers, allow them to shine, because they have ideas and they have programs that they can create. And so the students are in need of mentorship, and we have to, teaching is more than just teaching in the formal classroom. Sometimes it's the programs that are created outside, like the extracurricular programs. We've seen students who have developed life skills and all these skills within the various clubs and societies and the sporting programs and the discipline and that kind of thing. And I believe that this added to the formal classroom is what will create this wholesome individual that we send out into society.
Sir Jermaine Williams speaking there. And Sir Williams, even as we reach the end and near the ending of our conversation, why would a parent encourage their male child to pursue a career in teaching with all the stressors, all we're seeing with students who act up and the pay not so high, when I can go out and just run a little thing and sell a little thing and earn much more and drive my big car. Tell us, Sir Williams, why should we pursue this teaching profession?
Teaching, as I said, well, teaching is a calling. It is a calling. There are opportunities for growth and development, and you know, the true, what you really get from teaching is the success, you know, that child, that person taking their rightful place in society. There are opportunities that are available, as much as we may not be the highest paid, but it's still our hope. And as a president-elect candidate, I will be negotiating with the government to ensure that we get more. I believe that there's hope for Jamaica, and all of us want to ensure that we play our role, you know, give our contribution, that we can make a difference. It's still a viable job. It's still a job that you know that will have a long-lasting impact. And if you follow the Bible, when you do good, you will never suffer. So don't worry about it. You'll be fine. So I do encourage parents to encourage their males, their sons, their male child to see teaching also as a viable opportunity. But Marky, if you don't love working with young people, it doesn't make any sense. You have to have a love for children, you know, because that is important. That's one of the first quality for you to want to be in education, pursuing education. And remember, you have the different levels as well. So based on your personality, are you the one that loves working with, you know, the smaller ones, the mid, or probably at the tertiary level? But whatever it is, it's still a viable job. And you can, if you use your resources well, your salary, etc., you can survive. You can live comfortably. You probably don't live like the Prime Minister or the President of the US, but you know, you can survive. You know, you can survive with the little that you have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jermaine Williams.
But before you go, remember, you know, today is Teachers Day, and so I want to big up all the teachers across Jamaica. Continue doing good. The world, the community, our communities are better off because of your work. And in spite of, find that motivation, continue to press on. There is still hope for Jamaica, and there is still hope for our education system. And it is dependent on our work. And so big up to you all. And I hope that you're having a wonderful day.
Excellent, excellent, excellent final words. Just want to continue to express Happy Teachers Day to all teachers. Mrs. Anne-Marie Lewis, Dr. Marie Nelson, Mr. Brown, the staff at Cumberland High School and at Ascot High School. You have been doing excellent job here in the community of Portmore. Please, Bridgeport, let me not leave you out.
Big up to man in school. Big up to man in school.
It has been a wonderful evening. It's Teachers Day. And again, we give out our words of thanks and congratulations to all our teachers for doing the fantastic job that they have been doing. Indeed, it has been a blessing. We also want to say thanks, especially to our guest here, Mr. Jermaine Williams. We thank you for making the time and giving it to us. Dr. Nadine Blair, Operations Programs Manager. Mr. Jermaine Johnson, who is our producer. Timoy Butler, Technical Support. Raquel Robertson of Digital Media. Indeed, we want to end the show with this quote that says, intelligence plus character. That is the goal of true education. That was said by my icon, Martin Luther King Jr.
So this is the program Designed for Men with guests who are men, and we have had an exceptional guest this afternoon, Sir Jermaine Williams. So thank you so much for listening in, man oh man. Really appreciate your presence.
Catch you next week, Wednesday, May 15, 2024, for a show entitled I Will Testify. Same place, same time, inside the mailbox. Next week, Monday.
Yes.
My man, yes. Strong man.